And we're joined by the Portland, Oregon City Councilor, Tiffany Koyama Lane. And she's here to talk about the President Trump's attempts to send National Guard troops into her city. Okay, Councilwoman, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate getting a real status report about what's happening on the ground, because for years we have heard that Portland is like the epicenter of sort of Democratic policies run amok, meaning it's been overrun by tent cities, by homeless people. People don't feel safe. There's no sign of law enforcement in some of these parts of town that people have started avoiding. That got President Trump's attention. Can you tell us what it's like there today?
Yeah, President Trump has had a obsession with Portland. It's been on his list, a place that he pays a lot of attention to. To be honest, right now, how I describe Portland, it's a beautiful, vibrant city where democracy is thriving. We had about 12,000 people just run the Portland Marathon on Sunday.
But what happened? Sorry to interrupt, but what happened to turn it around? Because that wasn't wrong that Portland had different encampments and people found that downtown business leaders were leaving and people didn't feel comfortable. So what changed?
Just like any city, Portland definitely has things to work on. We are working on those things and we have everything we need to solve those problems and be working on them. And we do not need troops being sent in by President Trump. President Trump this is our home and he is using it as a military target right now. We have our attorney general, our mayor, our governor, all saying very clearly that we do not need troops deployed into our city.
Counselor, question for you. I've got a viewpoint in life that every individual and every community needs to look within to find improvement. If you were able to wave a magic wand, what are the things that you would like to improve on the ground in Portland today? What are the challenges that you're facing that do need improvements?
Absolutely.
Nowhere's perfect.
Nowhere is perfect. Yeah, I've been a public school teacher for 16 years, so definitely all the challenges that are in that are in our city, they show up in our classrooms as well. We need access to healthcare. We need to make sure that housing is affordable. I have seen my own students, families, even teachers getting pushed out of Portland because they can't afford to live here. We need to make sure that kids have come to school with food in their belly. We need some help with some of the basics. And this deployment that Trump is trying to do is an estimated cost of $10 million, which is a huge waste of our taxpayer dollars.
In terms of property crime rate, Portland is ranked second in the United States behind only Memphis, Tennessee. So what needs to be done there? And to the president's point, are Oregon officials doing enough?
We have our Portland police chief saying we have our governor, our mayor, we have all the electeds in the state standing together right now in our city saying we do not need help with these issues. We have our business.
But you are ranked second in the United States in property crime. Shouldn't that be of major concern?
It is absolutely something that is of concern and is being focused on. I was just talking to our Portland police chief about this weekend, and we do have things that we need to work on, and we are working on them. What we don't need is having federal troops assaulting, seemingly unconstitutionally pushing over peaceful veterans and older residents on our street, which is what we're seeing right now. So while we have our city council has 12 different members. We all have different views. We're all on different places on a spectrum, but we all agree that we don't need this type of help from Trump right now.
So what happens? What's your plan? What's the city council's plan if the president invokes the Insurrection Act and sends in troops?
Well, we are very confident because the Trump-appointed Judge Immergut, has ruled twice and given temporary restraining orders, TROs. So the judge has blocked the deployment of any National Guard from any of the states coming to Portland because there's not actually evidence here, if you come here to Portland, that is appropriate or needed at all. We're talking about less than one city block right now that the Trump administration is trying to focus on. And honestly, the Judge Immergut, who was appointed by President Trump, said that the president's not tethered to the facts, that this is not actually true, that Portland is a war zone. It is not a war zone. We have things that we need to work on. We need to get people into housing. We need to get people what they need. We do not need federal troops coming into our communities right now.
Counselor, this is my last question. I'm always looking for a better way. What would you like to see from the federal government? If we're to work together, what would you like to see, and what would you offer up as well to find a better path forward?
We would love to see our schools fully funded. We would love to see funding to make sure that we can get people into affordable housing. We would love to be able to help people get off the streets who are living on the streets. And that doesn't mean putting people in jail. It doesn't mean putting troops on our streets. I keep hearing our mayor saying the number of federal troops we need on our streets right now is 0. Our National Guard needs to be around for disasters like fighting fires and other important things that they do in our community.
Counselor, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And thank you for giving that perspective of what's happening on the ground.